Okay, and we are live.
Hey, welcome to Suzilla. It's Thursday morning. The happy Groundhog Day to everybody. 2nd of February.
All right.
All right.
Episode 126.
All right.
Yes. Many thanks to Ned, our patron saint of insurance
The
agents.
patron saint of insurance companies. Here's you, Ned the head.
Okay, so we're going to get into something that came across my little Matthew verse this morning.
Yeah, he was up at his watch woke him up at stupid o'clock, which reminds me I need to take a look at your phone, see if I can fix that.
But anyway, it was this great video. It was a lady in her probably early 50s.
Mm-hmm. About our age.
Fairly well to do. And she was talking about an experience she had. It was early on in COVID, and she was kind of like, skip this. I'm going to buy a Porsche.
She was just going to treat herself.
She was going to treat herself right. So she was going to buy a Porsche. So she calls the first dealership near and says, "Hey, I want information on these 3 cars."
What kind of information was she asking? Did it say?
She didn't say.
Okay.
It's just like, "Hey, I want information. More information on this."
Tell me about these cars.
She was a good consumer. She wanted to do a little bit of research on, a major purchase.
Again, it would be a major purchase.
Yeah, it was about $100,000.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened?
And so the first dealer said, "No, you can come in and buy it here." And she was like, "No, there's a pandemic going on.
I'm not going to I'm not going to come in unless I'm ready to lay down the cash."
Yeah, and so she called up dealer number 2.
Uh-huh. And what dealer number 2 go?
And dealer number 2 said, "Oh, hey, yeah. Here's the information on the 3, and why don't we jump on the Zoom call and build a Porsche, because you can get some really awesome customization."
So he offered to not only send her the information on the basic Porsches that she was asking about,
yeah,
but offered to help her build a customized version
that suited her needs,
and her tastes by Zoom.
Yeah,
which was probably pretty easy.
Yeah, well,
it's no more difficult than walking through a car lot and doing that physically.
Yeah, but the second dealer was really willing to go through it. And day 2 or 3, he turned around and sent her a video on her LinkedIn of this beautiful Porsche being lowered down from the trailer, with a big bow on it. Said, "Hey, why don't you come on down and pick up your Porsche?"
Mm-hmm. So she was a lay down buyer. There's no question about it. She was going to buy this car.
Pay cash.
Paid in full. She's doing well. So she paid in full. Lay down buyer. Was willing to probably just buy one right off the lot.
Yeah.
Which would have been a less expensive version. Yeah. Got connected with this salesperson who knew that extra level of customer service would make all the difference to her.
Yeah, he
probably does that with all of his clients.
He probably does it with all of his clients, and it's that catered, hey, let's make the seller's experience exceptional.
Okay, if you're walking into a Porsche dealership or a Rolls-Royce dealership or any high-end vehicle dealership, you expect that concierge service.
It doesn't matter what
but you
walk
expect
into.
It in luxury. You should expect it throughout.
Well, just think about that we were hunting down, I can't remember, it was boxes or packing material.
Oh, yeah.
And we walked into it was a U-Haul place,
mm-hmm.
the storage place, that smelled like cat urine.
Yeah, that wasn't fun.
And it was like, no, I can go down the road.
So we went down the road.
It's like, yeah, they might have, but too often as business owners, we focus on what's convenient to us.
Yeah.
What is, who's providing, something easy for us to contend with versus what the client can use.
Yes.
And I started working with Shayla on this, on literally insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things we talked about was no one likes to shop for insurance.
No, it's an expenditure. You walk out without something, without a concrete product. You don't walk out with a car.
Uh-huh.
You, in some situations, you don't even walk out with paperwork.
Uh-huh.
It's such a, what's what I'm looking for? I don't know. It's something you need, something you want, but still, it's because it's.
No,
I don't
I'll
know.
argue that one because no one wants it.
You don't think anyone wants insurance?
No one wants insurance. They need insurance.
I don't know.
And this is why I say that. We know that for the most part, most people start out healthy and lucky.
Oh, yeah.
And insurance covers the loss of when you get unlucky or unhealthy.
Yeah, that's true.
And it allows a person to recover and move on. No one needs that. Excuse me, no one wants that because they have to experience a loss for it to activate.
Okay, I'll buy that.
So that's one of the aspects with insurance. It's not something you want; it's something you need. And when adults have to do adulting things,
Mm-hmm.
they look at, hey, what do I need?
Yeah. Okay, so I get where you're going with there. Again, when you buy insurance, you don't get a concrete, you can get a ball of insurance.
Yeah.
You just get a policy, which anymore you don't even get a paper policy, you get it all online. People like to have something in hand. So that's weird. It's buying something that they need. They don't necessarily want to have to get it, but they're going to get it because they should get it, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so that's where, with situations like us, where we're offering, kind of non-concrete services. We're selling our service.
Well,
Am I just not following you properly?
You are not following
well,
properly.
Well, then you should clarify.
And it's well, okay. The person doesn't want to be there. It sucks.
You've said before it's a hostage situation.
It is a hostage situation with someone's life. However, that doesn't mean their experience has to be a horrible one.
True.
And for many cases, we've seen time and time again, it's a horrible experience.
Yes. We've experienced that because, you can't find the prices you want. You can't find the products you want. You look at this and go, oh, that's expensive, but I still need it. So I guess I have to bite the bullet.
You get talked down to.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There are people who get talked down to. There are people who get ignored. There are people who don't explain coverages.
Oh, yeah.
There are, I think the classic one, and because we talk, health insurance is a very intimate product.
Oh, yes, very much so.
And we've made it so, and I do it, and this is part of my process. Is my first thing, if I don't have their information, I'm reviewing their information. Mm-hmm. So let's get the boring stuff out of the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's just point blank with everyone, and I enter all the information so that I can take that information, and while I'm doing the application,
mm-hmm.
I start my conversation.
Exactly. You get all the paperwork done. So, all the facts in place. So when you're starting the application and loading in, instead of saying, okay, what's your birthday? Where's your address? With the application, you're just loading it in, and you're talking about the product. You're talking about the product you're going to be looking at.
No,
or just the people.
I'm talking just the people.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I want to know, hey,
yeah.
And it's, what excites them? Is it snowboarding? Is it, hey, they're looking forward to this great big trip?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Did you have a great Christmas? What you planning on? Do you have a vacation plan this year?
What are you going to do for Super Bowl?
The conversation, the creation of a relationship.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's just years of doing this, because at this point it's years of doing this, or it's I've always been that way. Let's get the boring stuff out of the way so we can move on.
Yeah, could be.
I talk to my son. It's like, hey, just knock it out, and then we can go do stuff.
Yeah. That's sort of your philosophy in life.
Yeah, it's take care of business first, and then party second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like your whole life's a mullet.
My whole life's a mullet. That's a good takeaway for this. Done. But that's kind of the concept. Get the boring stuff out, and then that. It's like, it's like ripping the Band-Aid off. It's like, and then take care of the wound.
Exactly.
So yeah, we have this conversation. We make it interactive. We don't have a freaking. We've gone through different insurance offices. Suzie and I have, because we've done quotes, and it's like, okay, well, how does this office conduct themselves? Does it look like a tomb and no one comes in here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, is it just a maze of cubicles? Is it comfortable? Is it ancient looking?
Is there childcare on it?
Is it dynamic? Is it interesting? Does it smell good?
Yeah, smell is a big one.
It smells huge, more than people realize.
Yeah, and that's part of the experience. Mm-hmm. And as it's important as salespeople, you get out and you do these tests. It's like, okay, mm-hmm. What's my experience here? What makes this wonderful? And it really cued home was the gal from InnovaWorks, Kim.
Yeah, that's right. You ran into them the other day.
Oh yeah, I just ran in and ran out. It was when we ran our Black Friday special, she was like, "Oh, that's not a thing."
Yeah, that cracked me up. It's been a thing for 10 years.
It's been a thing for a long time.
For us, it's been a thing. The whole Black Friday concept has been a thing for way too long. Mm-hmm. And we made it a thing for us.
Yeah, and so literally 4 a.m. we were selling. We were working with consumers and selling insurance policies.
Exactly.
Because it was a fun event.
Yes. It was a great event.
And that's something that everyone can take away. It's like, if you make your shop, your business, a fun experience mm-hmm. for the buyer.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's an entirely different ballgame.
It is a very different ballgame. And you know who does really good at that?
Who?
Dentists. The modern dentist office. I was thinking about
the modern one, yes.
Yeah, the modern one. The modern, especially kids dentistry, with little playground spaces, video games, TVs on the ceiling, stuff like that. The modern dentist office works the experience angle hard, because you're in there because you need to be there. You don't want to be there, but you need to be there. What we do, what dentists do, not all that different.
Well, here's another one. Another good example of that. McDonald's in the 90s.
Okay.
Here, let's do the playground.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's cater to these birthdays.
Yeah.
Because the kids are on it. Hey, let's make Happy Meal toys.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that was before the 90s, but yeah.
But the 90s was really when they hit their stride.
They really did.
And that's one of the things. It's like, okay, well, let's and as you know, both you and I have worked those McDonald's mm-hmm. and the birthday parties, and it was just like, oh my God, this sucks.
It's horrible.
It was horrible. It was just like, oh my God.
I was just always really, really grateful that I wasn't the one that had to clean the ball pit.
Yeah.
Because, oh my God.
So, yeah, that's the selling experience, is cleaning the ball pit.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, because we're in the point where we're like, okay, well, what do you want for hiring? Because we get that asked a lot. It's like, oh yeah, we want we want someone to work with. That's the first key. We want someone to work with.
Yeah.
I don't want to necessarily hire someone.
No, we want somebody who is invested as we are.
Well, no. It's not invested, because invested is a past tense.
Okay. Okay.
And what we're looking for is, we've always said we want a partner.
Yeah.
And it's because right now, companies across the nation are having problems hiring.
That's absolutely true.
Part of the problem is the environment sucks.
Yes. You can't at this point, people have gotten to the point with COVID. COVID changed the dynamics a lot.
I just think it advanced it quicker.
Yeah, you're probably right. But okay, but the dynamics have changed.
Yeah.
A lot of people who were going to retire in a few years, quit or retired at that period. They went a couple of years early. So suddenly there's some of your old timers gone. There's been a giant sucking sound of the 62-year-olds, big time.
Yeah,
just gone. And they're the ones who have been the backbone of a lot of these industries for a long time.
Yeah.
And the companies that they were working for have not. They've relied so heavily for so long, they are not ready to replace them. And they're having trouble finding somebody. Well, they'll say, well, no one wants to do the work. It's like, well, yeah, what are you offering? It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
With online work, with virtual work being such an option for so many things. And yet officers companies say, no, you must come back to the office. And I'm going, okay, so what are you going to do to compensate me for my extra travel time and for my all the things that I haven't been spending because I've been working and efficiently and getting my job done from home. And it's like, well, I can't offer you that. Well, okay, then I quit. And that's happening. That falls under the Great Resignation situation. What you're looking at next is, what do you do to replace the 62-year-olds who have decided, stuff this, I'm heading to the Bahamas.
I'm taking my 401k.
And I'm leaving.
And I'm leaving to Belize.
Mm-hmm. Or Costa Rica or Mexico or somewhere warm. Usually somewhere warm in my experience. I don't think I've ever heard of anyone, I'm taking my 401k and moving to the Yukon.
The one that the Gary and I joked about and we're half serious was going to Siberia.
Okay.
And the reason why Siberia is because it's such
it's
wildlife.
It's wild.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's untamed, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
also really flipping cold.
Stock up in the firewood.
Yeah, sure.
But it's a matter of concept, and part of the thing of I want someone that's willing to invest.
Mm-hmm.
However, our progress is going to be slowed down if we have to have someone that is, I need an hourly commission.
Yeah, that's going to slow things down.
And because that changes the dynamics. Mm-hmm.
See, we're happier if we have somebody who's a partner versus an employee. Mm-hmm. Because that means we are invested in each other.
Well, it goes beyond that, because I want someone that's interested in profit sharing.
Yeah. Who's going to work and get a share of the profits.
Yeah.
And we're willing to give them that.
And we also have to recognize at the same time that some people have built such a financial deficit.
Yeah. They have to have a steady paycheck.
That they require a steady paycheck coming in.
No, I understand that.
And that's where we have to find the right person to see the potential of short-term loss for long-term gain. Yeah.
I mean, we live that for, short-term sacrifices for long-term gain. We have lived that for a long time.
Oh, we do that constantly.
Yeah.
It's part of the thing. It's one of the things is putting our kids first.
Yeah. And we want anybody that works with us to make sure they're to be invested. I keep going back to the word invested, to know that we're offering a kid-friendly space.
Well, it's
and
not,
and we want them to want their kids around.
yeah, because it's that participation level.
Mhm.
What we're doing, and we're going to do this next weekend, and then in that participation is we're going to get the kids together,
Mhm.
And we're going to say, okay, hey, this room is your place to design.
What do you want to do?
What do you know? How big a TV you want? You know,
Do you want a video game
do you want a
system?
video game system? You know, do you want lighting? Do you want, you know, what sort of posters do you want?
Do you want,
Do you want
special
artwork?
chairs, artwork? You know, they've got a really nice couch back there.
Yeah, we started with the couch because we needed that as a bare minimum, and we've had, but that's going to be the kind of the family comfy space.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we have to come in on a weekend, or if they want to join us after school, our son, he's old enough, he's driving. He doesn't come into the office after school as much as he used to, but he might, you know. But if he does want to come in and hang out with us on the weekends or after school, give him some more comfortable. Our partner Shayla, she's got a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
We want him to be able to be here after school and be comfortable, or on the weekends if need be. We want this to be a welcoming space for kids.
Well, it's not just a welcoming space for kids
or families. Then
it's a welcoming space. You have to, for part of that focus on the buying space.
Okay.
It has to be welcoming. You have to be inclusive.
Yes.
And that's really what this is this concept that I've been kind of working on and gelling is, you know, inclusive capitalism.
Okay, I like that phrase.
And we don't want, you know, someone to, you know, be faced with this cold, hard space, or this is the cookie cutter policy for you.
Mm-hmm. We're not doing cookie cutters this year. We're not doing cookie cutters.
And there are some people that really thrive in that cookie cutter.
Oh, absolutely.
And they built their business model based on speed.
And some clients really, really respond to that, and that's awesome. More power to them. More power to the business. More power to that client. We might want, you know, we're available for people who want to take it a little bit more in depth.
Well, it's not to take it more in depth. It's we're looking to make sure that a person understands their policy.
Yes, that's in depth.
And what we've seen is there's a huge level of ignorance on these technical policies.
Yeah, that's true.
And when you have speed and a lot of assumptions, I mean, some of the worst people with assumptions have held licenses.
Yeah.
Or their uncles held licenses.
Yeah.
And it's really important to have that understanding of like, yeah, this is what it means by having a network. Or yeah, you're covered for fire.
But not for
a flood.
And
it's important to have these conversations on a regular basis and be comfortable, have the space comfortable enough that you have those conversations. For us, yes, a lot of our industry shut down during COVID and said, "Oh, we're all going remote." And we're like, you know what? We've got a lot of customers that need to come in and talk.
Yeah. So and we had our office set up so we could. We had big spaces. We had big screens so they could see what we were doing.
Oh, we still got big spaces.
I know, but my office was really deep.
Yeah.
It's not as deep as it was. And, you know, we set up with as much professional, you know, security we could, you know, to keep, you know, little barriers and things. And we made sure that we had big computer screens so they could see. I mean, we already had that, but so they could see what we were doing without being on top of each other.
Yeah.
You know, and we tried to keep things we kept things as sanitary as possible.
Mhm.
A lot of wiping down, a lot of mopping, replaced the floors. So
went hardwoods.
went to a laminate floor. So it was, and plastic furniture we could wipe down more easily. And I think we did pretty good keeping our clients safe.
Yeah, we do a lot to do that.
And we also required masks and and always offered remote options.
Yeah, but we were set up to be remote before.
Yes, we were. This just really came to it was just a tool that was like, yeah, I'm really glad we did this level.
And we're starting to build into the property side of things. A really cool example was when I showed you the bonds.
Yeah, that was nifty.
And because Suzie, she's our notary. There was a point where it was a contractor that needed a bond, and I think it was like a foil seal. I distinctly remember having to run around and get a foil seal. It was that level of crazy bondness.
That's crazy.
That I had to do a decade ago for a
I don't even think they do foil seals anymore.
And so and then it's like, okay, we got signed up yesterday with this company because I started talking to my person over at our aggregator, and like, look, we're going to be at a home show. We're going to be working with a lot of contractors in the area that are going to be doing a lot of things, and bonds is one of those things. Because you need a bond if you're a notary, if you're janitorial, if you're in the finance business. There are a lot of reasons why bonds are important.
Right.
And I wanted to make it as easy as stinking possible.
So they stepped up and said, "Here," and you went, "Ooh."
It was, and I showed you. It was simple. Oh, here, what state you're in? What bond type you're looking. It's like, I don't know the name. I'm doing construction, or I'm doing janitorial, and I did yours. It was notary. It was like, oh, notary. Oh, do I want the 10,000 E&O coverage or without?
That easy.
It was that easy to put it in, and there's a little, you fill out the basic information, and then there were I don't know if you saw it, you could have it sent to customer.
Yeah, I did see that.
So yeah, I could do it myself, or I can have the customer do it. Either way, it depends on what that buyer wants. Think about it. It's very close to what dental is.
Yes, the dental insurance. Yeah,
because dental, we had a wonderful dental program that we send out. It's like, here you go, and we do our best to send caveats to the consumer, because it's like, this policy starts immediately. This policy's got waiting periods.
Yes, make sure they shop by price.
And there are points where we let's slow that roll down here.
Yeah.
This is what this plan does, and this is versus this plan. A classic is the Delta Dental on the Healthplanfinder.
Yes. People will say, "Oh, I have dental insurance," and it's unfortunately the Delta Dental on the Healthplanfinder is very stripped down.
Yeah, it doesn't cover crowns, for example.
No, crowns or root canals. It goes up to, fillings and gum gum cleanings.
Basic gum cleanings.
Basic gum cleanings. It really does stop at preventative care.
And then there's the Delta Dental over with ARP that's got a pretty decent denture component.
It does. It has a very strong denture focus, which is appropriate for the AARP product.
Yeah, I've run into the Delta brand at a couple different levels, and I always ask. It's like, I got Delta, cool. Let me see it.
Hundreds of them out there.
Because
they're tailored.
They're all over the place.
We've
got a Delta that has adult orthodontic.
Yep, that's
and
new.
That is massive. So it's like, yeah, what do you got? Here, I'll walk you through what I got. Let's compare. So yeah, there are points where we definitely slow it down to a conversation.
Absolutely.
We want that chat. We want to get the boring stuff out of the way,
and then get into the
exciting stuff.
Get into the meat of it. Exactly.
And that's how we do it. It's like, okay, yeah. And so yeah, sometimes it's gonna be outside. It's kind of boring. It's a big brick building.
Yeah.
But you walk in the inside, you see wonderful posters of outdoors. You see Suzie's butterfly collection.
People love that, by the way.
I know that people love that. They see the big moss Wenatchee Insurance. We create an experience that our buyers enjoy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a pain in the ass as a sellers.
Oh yeah.
And that's important because there's points where it's like, okay, how easy is it for me? I had a good example was I did a commercial auto policy, and it was the first one with this company, so it's like, okay, and I was like, okay, want to play with credit card? Awesome. Here's the credit card tool. Cool. Make the credit card payment. Have the consumer shot me a copy of that credit card. I shot the copy of the application and that to the company and said, bind it. Got it all bound, all beautiful. Hey, and I had to do a little bit of management, get the card information out. Then the company billed me.
What?
Then the company billed me. And
billed us for what?
Billed us for the policy that I sold, that I used their credit. So I have to as a since I'm in the sausage making process.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, send them this. This is you sent me the invoice. Who pays this invoice? And how do I follow the reports to make sure that invoice is paid, so I don't have to deal with this company, because I don't ever want to deal with the micromanagement for $20-$30.
It was a processing fee.
Well, no.
We don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was.
I'm saying the commission level of it. Okay.
Okay.
Because the more time that I spend on that as a seller, as a seller, takes away from me spending my time with more buyers.
Exactly. It's if you're dealing with the micromanagement BS, you can't take on the next person easily.
And that's my battle that I do with the different insurance companies, the different brokerages, the different exchanges. I want more automation there, so I can spend my time making the buyer's experience more pleasurable.
Exactly. That's not too mashed. Let's make the buyer's experience more pleasurable overall.
So yeah,
that's a good place to stop.
That is a great place to stop.
Come join us at the Town Toyota Center this weekend, 9 to 6 on Saturday, 9 to 4 on Sunday for the Builders Home Show.
Yes,
small entry fee, but lots of stuff that you get for your $5.
We are right in the middle of it.
Booth number 160.
Okay.
Will be hard to miss. We have disco balls.
Yep. So
bye
bye now.